And this team lost a game yesterday. How is there so many things to talk about now? Okay, let's try to digest everything that has been going on with the Vancouver Canucks. We're going to be reading tweets, we're going to be reading Reddit, we're going to be reading a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm going to be giving my opinions here because the Vancouver Canucks are an absolute tire fire. And when it comes to everything, just everything, the big picture, there is a lot to get through. So, starting off with a quote from Elliotte Friedman yesterday. This is before the Pittsburgh game. This is what he said on the Jeff Merrick show earlier in the morning. The number one thing I keep hearing about Vancouver, and I hear it every day, Friedman says, I hear it every day. They're trying to avoid doing something, a trade, that they will regret for a decade. Okay. The Vancouver Canucks don't want to do something that they'll regret for a decade. What have they done recently that has caused them to think like that? You can fill in the blanks right there, but there are a lot of things. You can do Eriksson, you can do Benning, you could do Tyler Madden, Toffoli, not keeping Toffoli, Tanev, Markstrom. There's a whole bunch of stuff that this team might have gone out there and done that they might regret. Hey, maybe not even for a decade. Maybe for a decade, you could talk about Oliver Ekman-Larsson. Okay, that one's not that bad. The contract sucks, but he's a good player. But after we had ourselves the Pittsburgh game, this was the groundbreaking piece of information that we got from the media. JT Miller was on the post-game presser after the Pittsburgh loss, and he said that when the Canucks are going all in, when they're all buying in, they're a dangerous team to play and they're tough to play against. A reporter asks, is everyone buying in right now? And Miller doesn't answer. Miller kind of just looks at everybody for a few seconds. He looks a little bit down, and then he looks up and he says, I don't... And then you could hear him whisper, no. JT Miller is not sure if everybody is buying in on the team right now, and it's kind of funny because Miller is one of the guys that when it comes to the locker room drama with the Vancouver Canucks, everybody loves to point their fingers at a few people, and Miller is always in that spotlight. What do I mean by that? Let's go over to a few other tweets over here. They asked Horvat somewhat of a similar question. Are you working hard enough for each other? And Horvat said, I think at times we are. At times, okay. Great words from the captain over there. Here's what Matt Sakaris said on his show about the Canucks and their locker room. The Canucks have a culture problem, and it would appear the captain is increasingly alienated from the group, if not isolated. The captain, Bo Horvat, eh? Okay. What else do we have to hear when it comes to these kinds of conversations? This is what Donnie said on Donnie and Dolly earlier today. He said that everybody is talking about a Miller versus Horvat split in the locker room. But the thing that the crew at Donnie and Dolly have heard is that it might be more of a situation where it's a Miller-led veteran group that's fed up with the younger players on the team. Okay, so Miller and the veterans. Who are the veterans on the team? I don't want to include Garland and OEL and that stuff in these conversations because they're brand new. They kind of get a pass from all this stuff. Same with Vasily Podkolzin. But veterans on the Canucks, older guys. You could say Tanner Pearson might be in that group, maybe a Tyler Myers, maybe... I don't know, there are a few guys that are a little bit older on the team, but when it comes to the younger guys, we all kind of know who are the younger guys in this team. Obviously, Podkolzin, but I want to give him a pass. Höglander is here, Pettersson is here, Besser is here, Horvat is here, Hughes is here. And when it comes to that group of young guys, you could really debate that it's only, Hughes who's actually doing okay. Horvat is doing subpar. Pettersson and Besser are completely not showing up to play. And if that's kind of the sentiment that we're getting from the media, that it's a Miller-Horvat kind of thing, or maybe just a Miller-led veteran group kind of thing that's fed up with the younger players, then I don't know what to think. This is what Dhaliwal said on 650 earlier this morning, too. He said that if another rebuild happens, or that the Canucks stay terrible, the three guys he thinks do not re-sign are Horvat, Besser, and Miller. He also said that there's a ton of rumors surrounding our players and that Horvat is the one taking the most calls. Notice that he doesn't have a no-trade clause. Another big thing is that Dhaliwal also threw in Dale Tallon's name as somebody that they might potentially be looking at for the president of hockey operations. Now, before anybody freaks out when it comes to Dale Tallon, this is probably not going to happen. Sekeres said that he was told unequivocally that the NHL will not let Dale Tallon take over the Canucks because the optics are not good. Why is that not going to happen? This is what is said on Twitter. The league is not going to allow them to hire Tallon. Rick Dollywall actually replies and he says, I agree with Sekeres. There was an investigation into his conduct in Florida. It's the wrong time for those sort of optics in wake of the Blackhawks Kyle Beach scandal, Murray's departure in Anaheim, and the Penguins settlement that they had too. So with Dale Tallon being maybe on the chopping block for Vancouver, it appears that based off of the optics and how things have gone with other executives around the league the past few months, the NHL would just not allow that to happen for Vancouver. So anybody who has been kind of, worrying that Dale Tallon is going to be that guy, you could kind of placate those worries now. And when it comes to what happened today in practice, you want to talk about the Miller locker room riff kind of thing. There was some confusion setting up a drill at Canucks practice earlier today as Travis Green discussed it at length with Brock Boeser. It appeared to be a straightforward 2-on-0 drill, but the wrong mix of players were in various ends. JT Miller could be heard yelling, "We don't know what we're doing!" And even though, just as a casual fan of this team, okay, maybe I'm a little bit more dedicated than the regular casual fan, I think everybody who watches this channel, you're probably more than a casual fan if you're watching commentary videos, analyzing everything that's going on, but as a casual fan of this team, even though JT Miller pisses me off sometimes with the fancy moves that he usually does when the team is under siege or when it really gets close to crunch time, the team is down by 1, there's 5 minutes left in the third, and Miller has the puck in his own zone, he'll usually do some really crazy move, like try to dangle his way by a guy or make a super risky pass that would have a low chance of actually going through, even though Miller ticks me off sometimes. You can't deny that this is one of the guys that is actually going out there and putting on an effort every single game, right? Like, you can't say the same about Pettersson, you can't say the same about Boeser, and I don't even know if you could say the same about Bo Horvat. Like, Horvat scored that one goal yesterday that was fantastic, but that was the thing, we said it in yesterday's post-game video, it sucks that a goal like that doesn't get us excited anymore. Because that was a great goal. It's just, circumstantially, contextually speaking, with everything that we have seen about this team leading up to that goal, we don't care if Bo Horvat scores that goal. We don't. All we care about is Tristan Jarry getting that shutout or not shutout against us. And Bo Horvat went out there and settled the deal, and we're like, okay, cool, no shutout, fine. But that was a great goal. And I think just the reaction of this fan base towards everything that we have seen kind of tells the bigger picture here. Even though JT Miller has gone out there with some super risky plays, and even though he kind of coughs up the puck in the worst way possible at times, he's still the most productive player on this team. He's still legitimately trying every shift, and you can hear the frustration in his voice whenever something doesn't go his way, which happens a lot nowadays. For guys like Pettersson and Boeser, and to an extent Bo, it kind of feels like they give up in some of these plays. It's almost like in their heads there's this predetermined mindset that's like, okay, our team sucks anyway, I'm not going to go out there and I'm not going to score a goal. Like, that philosophy that everybody says you got to have? Today I woke up and today I scored a goal. Today I woke up and today I scored a goal. Even me playing in my recreational floor hockey league, like that's the kind of mentality that you have to have if you want even just a sliver of hope to have success at whatever it is that you're doing. You can't go out there with a defeatist mindset because it really does showcase in your body language and the way you play. The players are making millions of dollars, they have to hold responsibility for what it is they're doing, and it's also on the coach to be able to bring that out of them consistently as well. And I know I haven't been talking about Travis Green in this video all too much, but you already kind of know my thoughts on Travis Green. The guy's overstayed his welcome, and I think there definitely should be a change sometime soon, whether that is a GM firing or a coach firing or something. There's a whole bunch of stuff to even talk about with the Aquilinis. There was that article on the Canucks subreddit talking about every cutting corner moment the Aquilini family has had spanning back to 1983. This is some really ugly stuff, so I'll leave a link in the description over here. And it just kind of paints the Aquilinis into even more of a bad picture when it comes to being suitable people to run this hockey team from the very top. All the stuff, all the scandals, all of these things are linked in the description, so you can go ahead and read it. I didn't know that the Aquilinis had this much bad reception in the press, but there it is. It's all right there. Did you know they fell behind on child support in 2019? It's kind of whack, isn't it? Talk to me in the comments, what do you think about the Vancouver Canucks and where they are right now? There's so much drama, dude. Like, it sucks. This is so bad. I don't know how to feel about this anymore, dude. Let me know in the comments all your thoughts. I hope you enjoyed this video. Rosén 99. And bye.